Are your people working hard but not reaching their full potential? The problem is not effort, it is development. At the Modern Observer Group, we transform workforce development into real performance. Our human-centered achievement programs help your team think better, communicate stronger, and execute at a higher level. That means higher employee engagement, stronger leadership, and measurable results across your organization. If you want a workforce that performs, leads, and delivers, it is time to invest in your people. Visit modernobserver.com and discover how the Modern Observer Group helps you build a workforce that wins.
Iran rejects ceasefire. 2 landmark internet cases. Trump appoints a new tech council, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Iran on Wednesday rejected Trump's ceasefire proposal and issued a 5-point counterproposal demanding war reparations, guarantees against future attacks, and full sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign minister told state media the country doesn't want a ceasefire, saying it'll end the war on its own terms. The White House insisted talks remain productive, even as the U.S. deployed the 82nd Airborne Paratroopers to supplement roughly 50,000 troops already in the region. An Iranian drone attack Wednesday ignited a fuel tank at Kuwait International Airport, while Israel continued striking targets in Tehran. Al-Reza Tangsiri, who helmed Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy, was targeted in an attack overnight, a senior Israeli official indicated. The head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Navy, Al-Reza Tangsiri, who directly commanded the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy choke points, was targeted in a strike overnight along with his senior operational leadership, including intelligence and operations chiefs, at a covert naval command center. This targeted strike was based on U.S. and Israeli intelligence and continues to demonstrate how deeply it is capable of penetrating, the Israeli official noted. A Los Angeles jury on Wednesday found Meta and Google liable in a closely watched trial, accusing social media platforms of designing their products to get young users addicted, awarding the plaintiff $3 million in damages. Meta was ordered to pay 70% of the awarded damages, while Google is responsible for the rest. The verdict came after 9 days, roughly 43 hours of deliberations. Jurors found that Instagram's parent company Meta and Google's YouTube acted with malice, oppression, or fraud, which means there will also be punitive damages determined on top of the $3 million total compensatory damages. There will be a hearing where all parties have 20 minutes to speak to assess punitive damages. We respectfully disagree with the verdict and are evaluating our legal options, a Meta spokesperson said shortly after the verdict. The case centered on a now 20-year-old California woman identified as KGM, who said social media platforms encouraged addictive use when she was a minor and contributed to depression and suicidal thoughts. Her lawsuit alleged that companies behind several major platforms designed their products in ways that encouraged compulsive use among young people. The Supreme Court unanimously ruled Wednesday that internet providers are not liable for copyright infringement by their users, delivering an opinion in Cox v. Sony and tossing a $1 billion verdict. Under our precedents, a company is not liable as a copyright infringer for merely providing a service to the public with knowledge that it will be used by some to infringe copyrights, Justice Clarence Thomas wrote in the opinion. Accordingly, we reverse. The ruling marks a significant win for broadband providers facing pressure from copyright owners to police subscriber activity. Cox Communications now cannot be held liable for piracy by its internet service subscribers of songs owned by Sony Music, Warner Music Group, Universal Music Group, and other labels, ending their billion-dollar-plus music copyright lawsuit. Police in London arrested 2 men accused of setting fire to ambulances parked outside a synagogue last week. The men, ages 45 and 47, will face charges of arson with intent to endanger life, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. President Donald Trump on Wednesday tapped several high-profile technology executives to serve as members of an influential White House science and technology panel, including Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, Oracle Executive Chairman Larry Ellison, and Andreessen Horowitz co-founder Mark Andreessen. The executives are part of a 13-person panel appointed by Trump to serve as the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Among other issues, the body is expected to wield influence over the administration's artificial intelligence policies. The panel will be co-chaired by White House AI czar David Sacks and Office of Science and Technology Policy Head Michael Kratzios. That's the Raw Naked Truth for March 26, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.